Hey everyone, in this particular video, I'm going to zero in on the fractal model and what makes the trades that I take, that I like to zero in on, high probability. So the question was asked to me, hey, you look like you've got the fractal model down, but what else are you looking at that makes a high probability trade? So I will go over what I look at. It's just me personally, just trying to kind of share some knowledge that I've gained through journaling and through my experience with this and my experience with the higher time frames, and just talk about what jumps out for me and what makes if you're trading the fractal model, what makes it a high probability. So for me, I'm on the 15-minute chart here, and if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I am a huge proponent of marking up higher time frame imbalances. The 5-minute, the 3-minute, the 1-minute, those are great time frames for entries. But to really look at the narrative, to really look at kind of what's going on, big picture, you need to have those higher time frames marked up, in my opinion. So you can see here, I've got the weekly in this green area. I've got a 4-hour here, this purple area. And then these two areas here are 1-hour imbalances. So I will always mark up definitely the 4-hour, the 1-hour, because the market was moving like it was doing recently. I went ahead and marked up the weekly as well. I wanted to see that. The daily's marked up, I just don't show it here. But what I want to point out to you is, if you look, I'm on the 15-minute chart here. Let me blow this up a little bit so we can see it. But if you've been following me for a while, you know that I talk about, especially the 1-hour and the 4-hour, especially the 1-hour, that I talk about and stress. You know, you'll definitely see some kind of reaction usually when the market comes upon an imbalance that's been created and it taps back into it for the first time. So you usually see it for the first time. You usually see it when it's coming down and trying to close it and trying to fill that imbalance. And so you'll either fill it and keep going, or you will get to the bottom, it will react off of that and say, no, I'm turning around, and it will take off from there. And we've seen this, I see this play out just about every day at some point in time, and especially, you know, throughout these past few weeks. So let me just point out what I'm talking about here. So I'm on the 15-minute chart. That's what you want for your sweep. You want to sweep on the 15-minute, an entry on the 1. So we've got this first area here, A+ setup for me. Why is it an A+ setup? Because again, it's coming down through this weekly fair value gap. It's coming down, 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 gets to the bottom and says, no, we're not going through it. We're going to turn around. And that's exactly what you get. You get the sweep right here. Kind of hard to see right in here, but there is your sweep. Of course, your entry would be on the lower time frame, and then you take it back up. That's A+ for me. Another thing that makes this A+ that you want to look for and keep in mind is, where did he go? I'll just use my little cheesy arrow here. These large wicks. When you have a large wick that forms on the sweep and then it closes back inside that range with that large wick, again, another confluence, if you will, for an A+ setup. So bottom or top of a higher time frame PD array, huge wick, A+ setup, A+ setup right there, I'm in. Another area up here, it's right here. We're reacting off that 4-hour imbalance up here. You can also see I've got this session stats indicator right in the manipulation area. I don't so much, I mean, I'll take note of that, but my eye is on the higher time frame imbalances. So it's just nice that this is another kind of confluence that, hey, we're in the manipulation area. We could either keep going or we could come back down. But in this case, you know, we're coming into that 4-hour area again. We get the sweep and then down we go. We had it here, so we don't have a sweep. I know we had the setup form here, if I remember correctly this morning. You know, I'll have to go back and look at the 1-minute time frames. I'm not going to do that right now. Got another sweep that happened right here. You can see the sweep there on the 15. Kind of lined up almost there. Not really an A plus setup. This would be like a more like a B plus or B setup for me. It's close to the top of the imbalance, but then it just decides to turn around out of the blue. We do get a sweep. We do get the wick. I mean, you know, it's okay, but this is the ideal situation that you want to see right here, is that large wick here. Had a pretty good size one in comparison to the previous wick here. And then that's usually, like I said, where you will get your reversals. So again, just to recap and to summarize, what I'm looking at for me, what makes an A plus setup for me, is when it first taps into a higher time frame PD array, when it taps into a 1 hour, when it taps into a 1 hour. It can be a daily or weekly, but I've seen a lot of reaction. I see a lot of strong reaction off the 1 hour fair value gaps. When they get created and it comes back up, usually that first tap into it, and the 4 hour as well, but I see it consistently on the 1 hour. Usually that first tap back into that 1 hour imbalance, you will get a reaction there. So anyway, that's really the gist of it, guys. I'm looking at the higher time frame PD arrays and looking for the sweeps to happen around that time. Obviously the other areas, you know, London lows, London highs, Asian lows and highs, obviously previous day low, that, you know, I'm looking at PDLs, PDHs as well. That makes a difference. So this was another one here. You got the sweep of, actually this is marked out incorrectly. I'm sorry. I've got Wednesdays, I've got the opening marked out as previous day low. So let me erase that. I'm sorry. But anyway, in general, you know, previous day lows, previous day highs. But I'm primarily focused on the higher time frame PD arrays, and that's where I tend to see the strongest reaction. So anyway, I hope this helps some of you guys out if you're looking at the fractal model. Another thing to consider, guys, is I also watch the market open. So here, Thursday at 5 a.m., we got market open that already happened back here. So we're coming back down towards the market open. 11 o'clock here, we've got the sweep. Market open is above us. I'm also watching that as well. So whole nother video on that I can go into. But for those that are interested, that is the profitable loser strategy, where he targets the market open, and you will see that, which I still utilize. You will see that play out daily, at least once or twice as well. So all kinds of different strategies to utilize, guys. I love it. I love them both. I love the fractal model. I love the profitable loser model, and they're both phenomenal. But just wanted to showcase primarily what I'm looking for in a trade is I'm looking for the higher time frame imbalances. I want to see where midnight market open is in relation to that, and then I'm looking for that sweep also. That's kind of a higher confluence for me. So, all right, let me stop yapping here because I've went longer than I anticipated and wanted to. But like I said, hope this helps you guys out. And if you've got any additional questions, feel free to hit me up. Again, you can follow me on X. I've got the same account on X, ICT 2023 Trader. You can follow me on there because especially on there, I will post a lot of shorter 1 minute, 2 minute videos where I may go over something. So, all right, you guys have sorry about the phone there. You guys have a great rest of your day in FP tomorrow, and I will talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.